Welcome to another adventure. Today I've headed southeast of the Brecon Beacons, just outside Crickhowell. There's a place called Llangattock escarpment. Now there is a limestone pinnacle left over from the quarry days called the Lonely Shepherd. The sun is about to rise, so I've got you nice and early. Actually, the moon is still in the sky, if you can see. Yes, the moon is still in the sky. So let's go. So I have done this walk before, not too long ago, but the heavens opened. I got absolutely soaking wet. My camera steamed up. I was drenched. So I promised myself I'd come back on a nice clear day. It's absolutely freezing this morning. It's just turned 7 o'clock. I just did a cockerel. That's great. That was timing. The moon's still out. And I think the sun is about to come up. So there seems to be an old building here, left over in ruins. So lime was quarried here many years ago. It was then taken on a tram road called Bailey's Tram Road. It was then taken on to the Monmouthshire and Brecon Canal and taken on to Brynmawr and Nant-y-glo. And Nant-y-glo was the biggest and probably the most important ironworks of its day, and finally closed in 1874. The lime had many uses. It was used to whitewash the cottages. It was used as a fertiliser, and it was also used in the furnaces. Lime was used as a fluxing agent. They would take iron ore, turn it into pig iron, and then process it into steel. You can see this prominent path here, which was the leftovers of Bailey's Tram Road. So this is the road that would take it all the way to the canal. So I've just resorted to putting my hat on. Keep the old bonds warm. If you do head off onto the hills, make sure you have some form of navigation with you, or a map, or at least you know where you're going. I've been there myself, I've got lost. The mist has come down, you get disorientated, and you get lost. You don't know where you're going. I've just come to two paths, almost like a crossroads, and this is a good little sign here. I don't know if you can see, there's a little cross. So there's no point going that way, because that goes towards the quarry, and then there's very difficult to get back out. So you've got to walk back on yourself. The sun is just about to rise. It's always a beautiful sight. If you do ever head off on a little adventure, I would advise go nice and early. One, to beat the crowds, but two, for the light. The lighting is absolutely beautiful this morning. The camera just does not give it justice. There's ravens flying overhead. It's beautiful. If my memory serves me correct, we should get the first sight of the Lonely Shepherd just as we get round this very corner. And what a sight it is. The Lonely Shepherd, an isolated limestone pinnacle which stands at the eastern tip of the plateau. It is possible that the stone was left as a memorial to their trade. Legend has it that a local shepherd was so cruel to his wife that she drowned herself in the nearby River Usk. As a punishment, he was turned to stone, yet every midsummer eve he returns walking the river banks, calling for his wife to return. So I almost had a near disaster then. My flask just fell out my bag, rolled down the hill and kept rolling, and nearly went to infinity and beyond. But I just managed to save it. So cheers. I'm going to head around the mountain now. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know I normally follow View Ranger, which this is what I'm following today. Last time I came here, like I said before, it was very, very boggy. So it was a little bit of a disaster, so I'm hoping it's going to be nice today. And there is a lake up here as well, a mountain lake, which I'm hoping to find. It was so misty before, and so wet and boggy, that I didn't bother trying to find it. So I can just see the summit in sight. If you were going to do this walk, it's a circular route of about 7.5 miles. You'll see the Lonely Shepherd on the way, you'll see the quarry. There's a few caves dotted around, a few swallow holes and a few shake holes. So be careful where you're walking and try and stick to the main path. So I've just reached the summit, slightly windswept. And I'm obviously the only one up here. I'm the only one mad enough to come up here. Mynydd Llangatwg, 529 metres or 1,736 feet above sea level, giving you grand views across the Usk Valley and the highest peaks of the Black Mountains. I've just reached this mountain lake. It's so peaceful. So I just had a spot of lunch, and as I was sat there I thought, I wonder how cold it really is. So I took my boots off, took my socks off. It was like putting my feet in an ice bucket. It was absolutely freezing, but refreshing. So I'm going to try and get back onto the path now and find my way around the other side, where I know there are some caves. This area up here is very boggy. My feet are a little wet. I'm hoping you can see that raven there, squawking away. I love the way nature has just taken over this quarry. There's trees growing on the cliffs. There's ravens everywhere today. I was hoping to see a peregrine falcon. This is definitely their territory. An old quarry high up. And I just found a nice raven's feather for a little souvenir. So I've just found a cave. So in the bottom of my bag, amongst my sandwiches and my monster munch, I found my head torch. So I'm in this cave. It's something to do with the quarrying. It seems some kind of shaft to pull up the limestone, I'm guessing. I'm not going to go any further. Oh, I can see a sign. I might just try and read that sign. So there's a nice padlock there. It's obviously for safety reasons. I think I'm going to head back out now. And I might have another coffee. See you soon. So I've also found another little entrance to a cave. Very narrow. But you can see there's chisel marks here. So this has been man-made. An entrance to a land unknown. So I'm finally back at the car for a long-deserved coffee. So that was the Lonely Shepherd walk. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I'll definitely be coming back on a nicer day. I'm fairly dry. This jacket performed pretty well. The only thing that is wet are my feet. I have got to change boots in the car, so I'll be changing into them soon. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.